Night Football starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern on Prime Video.
We all hate the threat of pain. The demons try to make us pay. The demons try to make us play. Slow going down the drain. We all hate the threat of pain. The demons try to make us pay. The demons try to make us play.
più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano, delle belle cercando il riposo, Narcisetto a tuo giro d'amor, delle belle cercando il riposo, Narcisetto a tuo giro d'amor.
Welcome college football fans to another weekly installment of
Your Team Sucks Donkey Balls.
with Dr. Balls.
What's going on, guys?
What's up? Welcome back to Smack Donkey Podcast.
The donkey balls are up.
That's right. The Donkey Balls is hanging low and they're swinging about. We're going to drop them on selected MFers and, use your imagination there, but we're going to drop them off on everybody. What do you think, Doug?
I think that our nerd in the field, and that is Sky in the Station, alerted me to the ultimate donkey ball sucking of the year. I didn't make a door for them because they're Division 2, but I got to share this with you guys. We probably won't see another game like this year. The Bluefield State, Big Blue, I think they're called, was defeated by Virginia Union 91-0.
My goodness.
That was November 2nd.
That looked like a score from NCAA 2006 and I got my quarterback boosted,
You beat somebody 91-0?
Oh, yeah.
Was it a person? Was it a person or was it a computer?
Oh, the computer I've beat as high as 140-0.
Oh. Okay, so
Yeah,
you abused some poor bastard 91-0.
My
Sorry,
son.
somewhere in your son?
Yeah, he's played it a lot. See, my son, when he got out of prison last time, he come and spent some time with me, and then we played it all night long, and while we was drinking 7-year-old white label James Dean. Anyway, in the first game, it looked like he was going to beat me, and I pulled it out my ass and won. He's never beat me in his entire life, and we've been playing these games since they came out. The 2006 we've been playing since it came out on the same PS2, right? So he almost beats me. I end up winning like 41-38 or something like that. And then he wanted a rematch, and in the rematch I beat him like 108-0. And I can't believe he sat for the whole thing, and now he won't play with me.
Okay, so Ed, can you hear us? I think Ed's on the toilet or something.
Oh goodness! Well, I think
There he is. There he is.
Wow! All right,
Edward.
What's up, Ed? Hey, Ed. Hello. Does the donkey balls droop low for Ed? Ed may be answering the call of the wild. I see his face. Are you muted, Big Daddy?
I don't know. You probably need to go out and come back in. Use the same email because we're not hearing you, and that's what fixed it last time. We'll wait for Ed to open this first door.
Hell yeah. Awesome. So do you have any video game stories where shit broke foul because of college football video games or football video games in general, Doug? Have you ever seen motherfuckers break foul over a football video game?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Well, that's weird.
Just exciting and new like the Love Boat now. We've got with us Ed Shriver.
You want me to open the dead man's door first or
Let's let Ed pick it. Do you want to open the dead man's door first, Ed, or do you want to run through the chumps of life before we get to it?
Makes no difference.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with door 4, 3. I'll open the dead man's door right in the middle, and then we'll do 2 and 1. How's that?
Alrighty.
All right, here comes door number 4.
Sniffing, you can smell them. Those donkey balls are yelling, and they're swinging to the beat of the loser's song. Never turn your back, cause those donkey balls are bouncing on your dreams. Suck 'em, suck 'em. Those donkey balls are bouncing on your chin again. What a silly guy.
And a shout out to that gentleman right there. And Wade Campbell says, "What's up, gentlemen?" Someone give a shout out to him. So Brett Billman, he sucks donkey balls because Illinois is ranked, which isn't a common occurrence lately. And but they've been solid. And I expected him to make them above average football team, but unfortunately he lost to Minnesota at home while he was ranked at the end of the year. So therefore, Illinois sucks donkey balls.
Yep, and I mean that this was their chance. I mean, this is the home stretch, and for people to really start taking them seriously, and like his teams typically do, when the opportunity's there, he fails. I hate to pile on Dylan there because I actually kind of like the guy, but that's typically what happens to his teams.
I called it because they had beaten Minnesota 3 straight.
Minnesota had enough of that shit, right?
Yep.
I mean, I think he'll be at Illinois as long as he wants to be there because I think he'll win enough to keep that job. But
it ain't an easy place to win.
Yep.
I agree. You know, Doug, I regret that when Timothy Bailey, you and I, and others met face to face in Alabama, that I didn't bring the PS2 so we could have the smacking off world champion of PS2. But we could have brackets of that, right? And record them. For example, Bailey's not that far away from me. If I wanted to go visit Bailey, I could work it out. And Bailey and I could play against each other. You could find somebody because Sky Anastasia is throwing down the gauntlet here in our chat. Do you see that?
No, I did not. Let me throw it up.
He said he used to hit max score of the AI at 256. So he's throwing. What about you, Ed? Have you ever played? NCAA 2006 on PS2? Oh, I think we lost Ed.
We did.
But anyway, that's what we ought to have is a world championship of smacking off on PS2 for NCAA 2006, which I feel is one of the last great college football games. And we could run it 9 ways to Sunday. But we ought to have a world championship event, and we could broadcast clips on Smacking Off the podcast. I think Ed is back with us.
Ed.
Ed.
I'm right here.
All right. Oh. We're just checking, making sure.
No, I needed to mute for a moment.
I got you.
I'll leave it at that.
Hey, Ed, I got to ask you, man. So you're a long-time Big Ten observer. Do you feel that mediocrity at Illinois is good enough and be able to hang out as he wants, or do you think that the fans will ask for more?
It's a very difficult place to recruit, and I think as long as they get to a bowl game, most of the time
that they're not. Illinois fans are not going to consider that mediocre.
There you go.
They're going to consider that a cut above, right?
Yeah, it's very, very hard to recruit there.
Now, what's the problem with recruiting there when they're so close to Chicago and all those northern Indiana schools that are so good at football?
They're not that close to Chicago.
I mean, they're only like Champaign's only like 125, 130 miles from Chicago.
Yeah, but Champaign's kind of really in the middle of nowhere. And
yeah.
There's so many other schools. You got Notre Dame. You got a lot of the what we normally think about the Big Ten schools competing for players, and it's just tough.
Yeah, they're actually closer to Purdue than they are to Northwestern. So
Northwestern's Chicago suburb.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. So as far as distance goes, they're actually I've been through Champaign a bunch when I used to work for Sprint, and Champaign's not that far from Lafayette compared to going to Chicago from Champaign. But you'd think they'd recruit that better, but they may not want to spend the resources on it. They got a beautiful old stadium. I'd like to see somebody become relevant that has it. And I thought Illinois might have the potential to be it. It might be right.
We don't need them. We don't need them this year, Bob. We got Indiana this year. All right, let's open door number 3, guys.
Hey, here comes the donkey balls. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks, donkey balls. Bouncing, 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 here they come. Open your mouth and get a big bunch. Suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them.
Damn, guys, Kansas State didn't get it done.
They
They were
didn't,
looking
and
good.
this team had a lot of expectations, and they looked really good at times, and it comes to this.
When it comes to this, now they suck donkey balls. They're hanging
I
low.
mean, this looked like a team that was going to walk into the playoffs, and I'm not sure they're going to get
Nope.
in at all.
No,
The
they're
Big 12,
definitely not going.
yeah, they're not going to make it because BYU's still undefeated in that conference, and so therefore, even if they lose 2 of the last 3, it's not going to get Kansas Stadium. But it's sad because they were looking tough. It was a new conference. Kansas State has played well for a long time, especially the last couple of years, and they had opportunities, and the opportunities came, and they didn't capitalize on them, so they sucked donkey balls.
True. Yeah, it was BYU that beat them first, and BYU handed their ass to them. And that
They
looked
did.
like an ugly loss at first, but then we will figure out that BYU is pretty good, and then Kansas State is still winning. So at this point, you're thinking, wow, you might see BYU get in and Kansas State. And no, it's not to be.
So it's looking like a one big conference.
I don't know. I think BYU is the only team that looks like they're shoe in.
Iowa State still nobody is a shoe in at this point.
Well, it looks like BYU is going to win it. I mean, I don't foresee them losing. I'd have to pull their schedule up, but I have looked at it recently. But that doesn't mean anything because anything can happen in college football. But if they win the Big 12, they got an automatic berth, right?
Yeah, they'd be number 4 probably.
I don't foresee anybody overtaking them, but you never know.
There you go. And it's looking like it could be a one big conference, and really, they're a victim of their own success. They brought a lot of teams in that were actually pretty good, and they're kind of canceling each other out like the NFC. So I believe BYU will be deserving of respect if they win the conference anyway. So shout out to Bruce Martinez. He's joined the chat. Says good evening. And then we've got a Utah fan on here, Sky Anastasia. And so Sky, the Holy War is this week. Oh, so BYU. There you go.
Yeah. That's what I got to ask guys. Is Utah going to end this BYU talk? Because, if they win, sorry, they're both in the same conference. Oh wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's a huge game, man.
It is, especially now that they're in the same conference.
Yeah,
but Utah is not going to the championship.
No, definitely not. But can they fuck Utah up? Can they fuck BYU up? They
can make it a one bid conference if they win, and then the Iowa State BYU loser in the championship has 2 losses and is probably not getting in the playoff.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, they can play score.
All right, I'm going to open this dead man store and go ahead and get this fucking bum out of the way. And this right here is a tribute to Bruce Martinez because he turned us on to the fact that this guy might not make it through the year. I was thinking maybe it's a little early for him to go, but I'm hearing the shit is going haywire over where he's at. So let's pull him up.
You're a dead man walking toward the unemployment line. Dead man walking. Those donkey balls, they bounced upon your chin. And now it seems so likely you may never win again.
Shit's done broke fell on the Sunset Strip, Doug. I'm telling you.
I mean, he looked so promising going in, and there was a lot of hype. I mean, I knew the hype was. I knew it was overhyped, and that's going back to I guess was their first year last year. Sorry, was his first year at USC last year?
I think it was their second year.
Yeah.
And then they had Caleb Williams last year though.
Yeah.
So
there's been a lot of hype, and this year, I mean, a lot of people thought they were really going to do something, and they start out with a win over LSU, and everything looks great. But down the line, man, it's looking bad. They do not travel well.
No, they haven't
They
done
could
well.
lose. They could lose. They could end up with 7 losses.
Yeah, I'm fixing to pull them up now. I want to see. Yeah, they're 15th in the big. How many teams are in the big?
18.
Okay, that's
Damn.
wow. It don't look good at all.
This is interesting because last year in the final year of the Pac-12, we thought that they were a tough conference and they were going out strong. But here, USC joins the Big 10 or the Big 18, as we should say, and they really haven't done jack squat. So therefore, they suck donkey balls. And Lincoln Riley, he's getting in the Big 10. So the Pac-12 and the Big 12 both had before all this consolidation, both had the same problem, is they were flashy teams with a team on top that could put up oodles of points. So we're talking about USC and Oklahoma, right, in their glory days. So they can put up oodles and oodles of points, but they can't stop nobody, right? And in that conference, since everybody else followed suit and tried to act like the big dogs, Oklahoma and USC in the respective conference, I guess they thought they could bring it to the Big 10 with them. And unfortunately, the Big 10, they play defense down.
Absolutely. So to finish the year out, we've got Nebraska going to Los Angeles. Then USC and UCLA play. I guess that's in Pasadena. And then Notre Dame comes to Los Angeles, which I mean, it's a favorable. I mean, if you're going to play Notre Dame, the best place is Los Angeles. I mean, but this team is. They could win 2 of these last 3.
Oh, they could win 2 of the last 3.
If they do, what are they? 6-6.
6-6. I don't know if that's enough to save Lincoln Riley's job unless they're just committed to him. The recruiting class coming in is pretty high. I guess if you want him to continue to develop his own guys, you're going to let him work to the end of his class. It may be worth doing. He did fire Alex Grinch, but I haven't seen the results on defense has improved.
No, they have not produced. He may get one more year, but if he gets one more year, he is squarely on the hot seat going into next year.
Yeah, no doubt.
If they do something like lose the last 3 games, I think he is gone.
Oh yeah,
and I don't think it's out of the question either, because UCLA has looked all right at times. Nebraska, I mean, traveling to Los Angeles, I don't know. I ain't getting that Nebraska feeling there, but this Nebraska's looked pretty good. Went to didn't they go to Ohio State and almost pull the upset? So,
yeah, they played a few teams tough, even though they recently got scrubbed.
All right, door number 2. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Hey, here comes the donkey balls. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks, donkey balls. Bouncing, 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 here they come. Open your mouth and get a big bunch. Suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them.
I mean, this guy deserves this, Doug. I mean, he's 1-9 against Ohio State. I mean, he sucks donkey balls. I mean,
I'll tell you, in any other week, a James Franklin loss would have probably got him to door number 1. But we got a special guy for door number 1.
Special.
But yeah. What can I say about James Franklin? I mean, I've never seen anybody just consistently come up short against good competition as this guy.
Now he's obviously capable of producing a solid 9 or 10 wins year in and year out in a tough conference.
I mean, we're not talking about Penn State being like a majorly inferior to any of these teams. They play good in these games. They just can't get over the hump. They can't do it.
Well, their offense is not that great, but they jumped on Ohio State 10-0, so they had their chance.
Absolutely. And
that didn't concern Ohio State very much. They said, "Fuck it, this is Penn State. Let's go out there and get this shit done." Right?
Well, I'll tell you what, Ohio State's talent on the outside just ate them alive after the 10-0 deficit. Ohio State just ate them alive with talent outside, and then the running back came alive. So they really completely threw Penn State off balance, and the way their defense was called wasn't working anymore. So they just it was a tough game though. They scored a lot of points, and it was close. And a miracle or a big play could have saved Penn State, but in the end, it didn't happen. So he sucks donkey balls because it hadn't happened for a long time. I mean, if you go back to top 10 losses against Ohio State, I mean, even if there's close games or Titanic struggles and be remembered forever, they still are losses. And at some point, that's got to be your resume.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's not going to lose his job, and he's very likely if they win out, they're in the playoffs. So there's really nothing. I say that they're probably going to make the playoffs, but I will say this: they got to go to Minnesota, and that's not a give me.
No, obviously Minnesota's capable of playing well. They've been up and down, but I mean anything's possible. No, I don't think Penn State is talent-wise is the second best team in the Big Ten. Absolutely.
I don't.
Oh, I forgot Oregon. So they're third
Yeah.
best team in the Big Ten. It just doesn't so unusual to call Oregon a member of the Big Ten that they're obviously.
It's really hard to wrap my brain around Oregon in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
and,
but they're
and
the
USC.
number one team in the country. And they're the number one team in the country, though, so it was good for them.
They are.
It is.
So tell me this, guys. Does a Penn State team with 2 losses, if they go up and lose at Minnesota, how easily does this team get into the playoffs?
I love it. All
on the bubble then.
Yeah, it's just going to depend on what the other 2 loss teams have done, I guess. So that'll be a discussion for another
There's
week.
a log jam in the SEC right now.
Yep.
And Indiana complicates things for the Big Ten as a league because nobody expected Indiana to do nothing. And so even if Indiana finishes 11-1, there's no way a 10-2 team in the same league is going to get over them. So I mean, that's at least 2. If Indiana continues to play well, hell, if they win out, they'll have an argument for a top seed, obviously. And
yes, it's another team. We know Indiana's not among the top 4 most talented in the conference, but that's a team that you didn't think about a minute ago when you were talking about Penn State being the 3rd most talented team. I don't know how talented Indiana is. I think that the coach really just knows how to get his players ready to play.
Yeah, I think the scheme is really good, and they're hard nosed. I think he's coached them from making mistakes. I think that you can take a team of 3 stars and some 4 stars and have them play clean enough, and they can win against 4 and 5 star players. But
I think we're watching it. We're watching it. It's in progress.
Oh yeah.
All right, door number 1.
Hey, hey, hit some donkey balls. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks, donkey balls, bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Bouncing, open your mouth and get a big butt. Suck them dry.
Jabo Sweeney. Now he sucks donkey balls. Well, they lost, guys. It was bad to happen.
Shout out to Dane Kelly. Dabo sucks donkey balls this week, buddy. We tried to keep him off the list. We did everything we could, didn't we, Bob?
Yeah, we did everything we could. I even prayed for him. I tried to join him into his spiritual,
we should have got Freeze to pray for him.
Yes, we should have got Freeze because it's selfish to pray for something you want, right?
Yeah.
But Louisville, I think, to Louisville's credit, Louisville played well, and they were more physical than I thought they would be. It's really, they were ranked at the time, number 25. It's really, I don't know. I don't know how Clemson can get in. I think they're out of the CFP. I don't know how a 2-loss ACC team can get in the CFP.
No, I agree.
Especially when they're 3rd in the conference or 4th.
4th now, and you're looking at Miami is doing better. I mean, hell, there's teams that won't even play each other. They're undefeated, even though Pitt has 1 loss now. And then you got SMU with 1 loss. So it's I don't see any way that Clemson can play themselves in. I mean, the only way they can play themselves in if somehow those other teams lose, and they get to meet one of them in the not CFP, but in the ACC championship game and beat them.
Yeah, that's their shot.
So if Clemson misses the first CFP, then they'll suck donkey balls, and then Landon Beeman will be able to excoriate them online and everywhere else for not having adapted to modern football and gotten on board with NIL and the transfer portal.
Man, Landon really loves Dabo. He does. He loves them. So let's take a commercial and let's come back and just give a little bit of thought to our first CFP ranking show tomorrow night, guys.
There you go.
So, all right, commercial and then back.
Go to smackology.42web.io and click our Fans Edge link for instant savings on awesome products.
Hey, hey, here comes the donkey ball. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks donkey balls. Bouncing, 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 here they come. Open your mouth and get a big bunch. Suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them.
Watch Your Team Sucks Donkey Balls live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, these sneakers rock. Wait, are you sure that you trust this website? It looks messy and totally unsecured. It looks like a scam. But it's all different if you use ClearVPN, the first effortless VPN solution for a personalized and secure online experience. ClearVPN, the only VPN you need, because it clearly understands you.
You're listening to the Smacking Off the podcast.
We're back.
All right.
A short commercial, but a great commercial. Best ever.
It was, especially that donkey ball spot right in the middle.
Oh, we like that.
I think I got to change that, though. I think it said it's on Tuesdays, and, of course, we're now on Monday, so I'll have to make a new one.
There you go. So, the CFP rankings are tomorrow night, and they're eagerly anticipated. And I know the presidential election is going on tomorrow night, so there's a lot going on to distract people's attention away from the important things, college football. But it's really so hard to pick, guys. I've looked at it 9 ways to Sundays. I make my own little list. I look at 24/7 Sports. I looked at ESPN. I looked at CBS, and I don't believe that that they have any idea what's going on any better than I do. So, in my opinion, it's it's kind of wide up. Well, there's 3 weeks of the season, a lot can happen, but as of today, I've got a pretty good idea of who I'll put in.
Well, we'll start with the SI projections because I think there's a lot wrong with these projections. But I've got they've got number 5 Ohio State meeting number 12 Boise. That's the way they're doing their rankings. They're going ahead and projecting these games. I believe that's what we're fixing to see tomorrow night.
Yes,
so
I'm sure.
SI's got Ohio State right outside at number 5, facing number 12 Boise, and that will be in Columbus. They've got number 6 Texas meeting number 11 Miami. I don't know why they've got Miami so far back.
Don't make any sense to me.
Maybe just because they flirted with losing so many times. I don't know, and I don't think the committee will see it that way. I think they'll have Miami a lot higher than that.
I think they'll have them at 3.
I've got them at 2.
All right, so Texas hosting Miami. They've got number 7 Penn State hosting number 10 Alabama. I totally disagree with Alabama at this point. Until I see Alabama go on the road and beat LSU, I'm not going to believe that this team is making the playoffs.
Well, the LSU Alabama game is an elimination
absolutely,
game.
Absolutely. But right now I can't wrap my brain around it. I realize that that Alabama could technically go down and get that win, but I'm not going to believe it until I see it. So I can't even entertain Alabama in the playoffs at this point. And let me tell you, Ed, even if they beat LSU, this team is still known. I mean, they've got rivalry games left. Auburn could make their whole fucking year by upsetting Alabama. I'm just not. I'm not counting anything as a definite with this Alabama team because this team rests on Milroe's shoulders, and if Milroe is not performing, this team goes down, and they're going to lose.
Right now, don't look like they're capable of winning it all.
No, and matter of fact, I don't even know if they're capable of getting into the playoffs.
But now it's getting to the point where that there's only it's hard to say that there's only so many spots. Now they've expanded it to 12, but people's got to be left out. So to me, the spoilers are SMU, Army, and Boise State. So whether or not that Boise State and Army gets in, which most likely only one of them gets in, whether or not SMU gets in, is a spoiler that would preclude a lot of teams on the CFP that you would expect to get in. So for example, even a 10-2 Alabama, so you'd have to have 4 CFP teams from the SEC for sure for them to get in.
Well, I think if BYU runs the table and is undefeated, and SMU. So if BYU ends up undefeated and SMU beats Miami in the ACC championship, and then you have a 1-loss SMU and a 1-loss Miami, they could both get in, and it's problematic for a team like Alabama at that point.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
And that's even if Alabama does win out.
Correct.
Which I'm not sure they can. But okay, so and let me go ahead and throw this one in. They've got number 8 Notre Dame hosting number 9 Tennessee.
That's pretty close to what I got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I've got 8. That's what I've got. Is an 8-9 matchup between Notre Dame and Tennessee. Absolutely.
That's a great game.
Oh yeah, and Notre Dame's come
absolutely.
up. Yeah, we'd like to see that. Now Tennessee and Notre Dame used to have a series, but what was it, the 80s or 90s? They had a series where they were visiting each other.
They might have played in the 80s. I'm not sure, but they definitely played in the 90s.
Right. I remember the Keith Jackson. They were ABC games with Keith Jackson.
Yep.
And they, that's interesting.
It was a Donnybrook.
A Donnybrook. We like Donnybrooks. Donnybrooks are fun and exciting. So that's what I'd like to see. I think Tennessee and Notre Dame would be a good matchup. Tennessee's defense, I'm gonna give them credit for being really good, and Notre Dame is good across the board, but I wouldn't call them great in any one area. But I think that overall they're equal to Tennessee. But when you're overwhelming on one side of the ball, then you can dominate. If you can dominate one side of it and just do good in the other, you can win that game. Whereas Notre Dame, if defensively shuts Tennessee down, because I think Tennessee's prone to turnovers, and Tennessee has squeaked through some games they maybe shouldn't have, and caught some breaks here and there. For example, all the turnovers went against Oklahoma in the Oklahoma matchup, and Oklahoma generally played them well, but the turnover battle went to Tennessee, and a lot of them were 50-50 balls, and everything seemed to go Tennessee's way. Well, the ball can bounce all kinds of ways. And that just can't just go on forever. I just don't think that Tennessee is better than 8 other teams on the list. So I mean, them being at 9 for me is about right, a little bit above Penn State, but I just don't see Tennessee winning it.
So let me throw this out there. Apparently, whoever edited or whoever does the SI website, either that or whoever fucking put these rankings together must have been retarded, because they've also got Miami at number 3 on this list.
Damn.
They had Miami out. I don't know. They must have meant to put Clemson. Probably not Clemson, but let me see. I don't know who they meant to put at number 7. What did they have Miami at 7? So these graphics, I didn't make them. I just went in there and copied them, and
Yeah.
apparently I didn't pay attention. But hold up. They had Miami. They had Miami at number 11. So apparently they might have meant, I don't know, Pitt or SMU, if they're putting another ACC team in. I don't know. It's hard to decipher when retarded people start copying, isn't it?
Well, see, I've got SMU at 10. So I would say it was Pitt or SMU was meant to be in that slot.
Well, Pitt just went down.
Yeah.
That was their first loss. I would put SMU in that slot before I would put Pitt.
Oh, yeah, because SMU kind of smoked them,
They did. They did. But anyway, from some other dimension here, we have number 4, BYU, the Big 12 champions. Number 3, the Miami Hurricanes as the ACC champions. Got Georgia as the SEC champions. And let me tell you something. I think Georgia's a pretty good team, but Georgia is definitely beatable. And I ain't betting on Georgia to win the SEC at this point. I think if they rematch with Texas, I believe Texas will beat them in the championship.
Beck is turnover prone. I just don't think he's that good. The rest of the team.
You're just kind of waiting for it to happen, and we know it's going to at some point.
Yeah, it's like
I don't think that any team right now looks unbeatable.
Oh, not at all. And I guess Oregon, I don't know what's left on Oregon's schedule to stop them. They've already played Oregon State early. That's a rival game, and, anything could happen there, but that game's already happened. I don't know. Let me pull up Oregon's schedule here.
No, I don't think they're beatable the rest of the way in the regular season, but they're beatable in the tournament.
I agree. Yeah, they got Maryland, they got Maryland on the 9th, and then they got Washington on the 30th. They got Wisconsin on the 16th. So they've got to play Maryland, Wisconsin, and Washington. And Oregon's a huge matchup as far as rivalries go, but it's at Oregon. So that's going to make a difference. But shout out to Bruce Martinez. We'd love to see Washington beat the Ducks and further complicate the situation.
It won't. Yeah, it won't stop the Ducks. It will probably just give them a little hiccup before they enter into the big championship game.
Oh, I think Oregon is getting their revenge on Washington this year. No question.
You think it's going to be ugly, Ed?
Yeah, Washington does not have the offensive firepower that they had last year. And that's at Oregon?
Yes, it's at Oregon.
Yeah, that Washington's not winning that game.
So I just want to say my critique of the SI prediction on tomorrow night's first ranking show is that I don't see how Miami's going to be in the top 4 and also the number 11 seed at the same time.
Yeah, and I think we're okay to watch the show because I don't think the networks are calling it for Trump at 7 p.m. Eastern.
You never know. They may call it for Kamala because that's that way they fucking operate, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, or
they don't if it's real. They just try to affect the election. See if they can get people, Trump voters, to stop voting. But that's another show and another subject, right?
There you go.
All right, so I'm interested. I guess I will watch that tomorrow night just to see what happened in the middle of this election fucking chaos, right?
There you go. You do let me. I have my iPad in one place and the TV going on the other. So they.
All right, so yeah, so I guess just to make this interesting, who y'all going with tomorrow night?
I got Trump. I feel the only way they can beat him is to rookie.
Ed?
The polls tend to show Harris with a slight lead, but I have a hard time believing somebody that couldn't even get to the primaries.
But dude, those polls are fake as shit. That they've got their thumb on the scale. They know damn well that she's not in the lead. I think they're trying to discourage the GOP voting base.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't either. Shit's too bad right now. Nobody wants more of this. Nobody feels like they can withstand 4 more years of this shit financially. So,
not if you're working class.
The thing is, though, there are some of the people on the left. They're really out of touch. Like she's not listening, so I'll say it. My boss is a highly intelligent woman. That she is. But she actually said to me that Harris did a great job as vice president and as attorney general in California. And I just shook my head and walked out of her office. What can I say?
All right, guys. So we'll be looking at some more donkey balls next week, and look forward to the Thursday show, guys.
Hallelujah.
All righty.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Your team sucks, donkey ball. Your team sucks, donkey ball. You're probably getting fired before the season's end. They even lose your wife and your asshole friend.
Your Team Sucks Donkey Balls is a presentation of Smacking Off the podcast. Streaming every week for another victim as we kick them while they are down.